Hey, I'm Nancy, and I need to take you somewhere that stopped me completely in my tracks. A slot canyon, so off the radar that most people drive right past it on their way to the more crowded ones. Me, Willie, and one of the most surreal, otherworldly places I've ever stepped foot in, just a short drive from where I parked in Page, Arizona. I spent a morning inside Secret Canyon. I could have stayed all day. But I didn't do it the normal way, the way that most people experience Antelope Canyon and Horseshoe Bend. No parking lot, no crowds. I had a private viewing spot on Navajo land. It was a little bit more than I planned on spending, and I had no idea what I was walking into. Today, we will find out if it was worth the extra money. Before we get into the canyon, let me tell you how I ended up at Antelope Point RV Park, because the reason is very Willie. I haven't stayed in many RV resorts much on this trip or paid more than $8 or $10 a night to camp. I'm mostly running on solar, boondocking, state parks, free camping. I'm living off the grid and trying to keep my monthly camping costs on this trip averaging around $300 a month to help offset the gas prices. So when I do choose to pay, I really need a good reason. Willie couldn't come with me on this tour. Slot canyons and Shih Tzus don't mix. So when I was choosing where to stay, I was thinking about one thing: keeping him cool while I was gone. Page, Arizona is in the desert. The sun is beating down, and I wanted him to have a comfortable spot with hookups and air conditioning. Antelope Point is right on the edge of Lake Powell. Concrete sites, artificial turf, and full hookups. It's actually a pretty special location, even though the water levels there have really changed the scenery and activity choices available. Anyway, what I did not account for was the temperature dropping overnight. I packed for keeping Willie cool. I should have packed for keeping him warm. A few things to know if you're considering Antelope Point. The water gets turned off periodically without warning, and there is a park entrance fee. Though if you have an America the Beautiful pass, you're covered. There are showers, though they're in a trailer rather than a permanent bathhouse. What I can tell you from personal experience, full hookups, a pull-through site, I have no complaints on that front. And Willie survived. He was very cozy in our little RV, and I got to go do this. I was surprised we weren't getting hit in the Jeep with dust. The tour starts like any other. You leave from their office in Page, head out on the main road, and I'm thinking, okay, normal tour situation. And then we reached a private gate. Once we crossed through onto their land, the road changed completely. We were going up and down steep hills, taking turns through the desert, kicking up dust. It felt more like an off-road adventure than a canyon tour, and honestly, that was half of the fun. By the time we got there, I was already in a completely different headspace. On the way back, our guide even stopped the truck so she could get us all out for pictures of the prickly pear cactuses in bloom. Because that's the kind of tour this was. No rushing, no schedule pressure, just, hey, look at these flowers and let's appreciate them. Upper Antelope Canyon, Lower Antelope Canyon, you've seen them. Everyone has. They are incredible, but they're also packed. You're moving in a line with dozens of other people on a schedule, and video is not allowed. Secret Canyon is different in almost every way. It's part of the same Antelope Canyon system, same sandstone, same light, same colors that look like they were painted by someone with way too much time and talent. But it's far less visited, small groups only. My group was 12 people, and the one before me was 5. You're the only group in the canyon at one time, and this is the part that genuinely surprised me. Video is allowed. I could shoot short clips up to about 10 seconds throughout the entire canyon. In any other Antelope Canyon tour, that's not even an option. It made such a difference in how I was able to experience and capture it. We had close to 45 minutes inside the canyon, which sounds like a lot until you're in there and you realize you could spend an hour just in one section. But here's what made this tour something I'm still thinking about. Our guide's grandfather originally found this slot canyon.
This canyon was actually founded by my great-great-grandpa. He lost his sheep and decided he needed to go find them. So he actually carved some stairs in the rocks, not over here, but the next rock over. And
she grew up playing in it. This isn't just land she works on, it's land she's known her entire life. And you could feel that in every single thing she said and did. She knew every photo spot, not just to stand here and smile. She took each of us individually with her own cameras and got us the shots. Along the way, she wove in stories about her ancestry, about the land, about her family's connection to this place. It was part geology tour, part family history, part, I don't know, something that felt genuinely personal in a way I was not expecting. I'll leave a link with how I booked this tour in the description. I highly recommend them. Okay, so here's the thing about Horseshoe Bend. You know the shot. The Colorado River making that perfect U shape 1,000 feet below you. It's one of the most iconic photograph spots in the American Southwest, which means when you go the regular way, the parking lot, the paved trail, the crowded overlook, you are shoulder to shoulder with a lot of other people trying to get the same shot. My tour included a private viewing spot through the same Navajo land, no public access, no crowds, just our small group, the canyon, and that drop. And our guide did the same thing she did in the canyon. She took each of us with our own camera and got us the shot at one of the most beautiful viewpoints in the Southwest, privately. The private access made it feel like a secret. No noise, no jostling for position, just standing there looking at something almost impossibly beautiful. But Horseshoe Bend itself is also just, it gets you. Even if it were crowded, the scale of it would just stop you cold. The combination of Secret Canyon in the morning and this private overlook felt almost unfair, like too much good thing in one day. Page, Arizona delivered. Secret Canyon, a private Horseshoe Bend view, a comfortable Willie in a warm RV. Not what I planned for, but honestly, that's kind of how this whole trip is going. From there, I headed somewhere that made Horseshoe Bend look almost tame. Gooseneck State Park, where I camped on the rim of a canyon 1,000 feet above the river. No guardrails, no crowds. Just me, Willie, and one of the most dramatic views I've had from a campsite on this entire trip. And honestly, it wasn't even in my original plan. And while I was there, I visited Valley of the Gods, which is exactly as dramatic as it sounds. And the road getting there, let's just say my Jeep and I had a conversation about rough dirt road. That's next week. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you on the road.